Bronny can go in front of ESPN.
Nigga, my mama gonna go to war, nigga. I don't give a fuck how old she is or how old I am. So if I got a pops, that nigga gonna do this. Well, he better do this. That's right.
Yeah. But now we're opening the door for all of these parents to start coming out and protecting their kids.
If you think that's bad, wait till you see Shador.
Right, it's about to get
Dion already doing that. We all saw what we saw, and you know what we saw.
That's elementary school.
No.
That's
it's like when you a teammate, he push him like, man, like, let's go. He push him like, get off of me. Get off of me. Get off me. No, don't touch me. Was it worth the $30,000? Now? In the moment.
In that moment.
In the moment.
You was up.
You remember? Was it bingo night or was it? 44. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But I'm gonna keep it high level. This is gonna just give you the beats. And I give you my opinion at the end on all of these topics. But what's going on, the core issue, is the carriage rights fee.
First of all, start off the right way. Exactly. Let me start out like this. This is why I'm broke and you got money. this whole Dak Prescott saga. What are those? On the field, I got metric after metric. He's a winner. Okay, he's number one in all categories for the Dallas Cowboys first 5 seasons. Off the field, unquestionable character. Like, the only thing you got on Dak Prescott is, I am undefeated. Oh, come on. And me playing basketball, and I just want to light up. He's getting up. And show, yeah, we doing this for real. He's first. I want to go rebound. Shoot.
This one?
Cut that up. I got a match. This boy, it's wet time. That's what I do.
I still don't know why this is a pick, except exceptional play by the defender. Look at that. 2 dudes reaching, and then he comes between them and say, let me split this bunk bed. And I'm out of here. Shotgun snap, slips. Oh, that's ugly. Sack on your first play ever in the NFL. Y'all know your nightmares came true. You're like, God dang. Oh, yeah, this ain't it. Look at this blitz right here.
I mean, he only knows so much what he's reading off stats, off paper. I mean, everything's good on paper. But I would always love to hear it from a player because they play the game.
What about a journalist? Like, being real, NARPs are journalists. Like, you're from that pool, right? So imagine somebody just said, you didn't play the game. I don't want to hear it.
She would have a living room full of people at about 10 p.m. probably every other Friday or Saturday. Come up here and I already know what they want, and I got to sing whatever song I got.
Did you say song. Sing, not rap? You said sing, huh?
Sing. Yeah, they ain't trying to hear no rap. They ain't trying to hear no rap. Yeah.
Well, I think you can do something with that. Hey man, Michael Jordan too light in the tail. Okay, you know what, big dog? Yes. I ain't light in the tail. If you want some of this, let's go one-on-one right now. Let's go,
Everyone's playing the hits, but I'm a DJ. And one thing I know from my DJing experience is that you don't just play the hits. You play things that people haven't found out about yet. Discovery. Not up to me. I don't have this ego where I'm a buck, talk trash, and be like, yo, I don't like this. I'm gonna be like this. All right, I got enough talent. I got enough belief in me. I know what I want to do. Yep, let me go do it. Oh, I had to do it twice because it felt so good, felt so nice. What's cracking like a maggot from the back end to the jack end? Oh, man, let's get into this show right now. We ain't got no time to waste, boy. We got to talk today. They are going at people's heads. Pat McAfee went on a rant. Stephen A. Smith, they telling him, chill out, talk hockey. It's better than you talking politics. And then the website that went at him is woke. I'm starting calling people out for what it is. And I love the website. I go on there all the time. It's called Awful Announcing. But hey, if you ain't left, you ain't right. So it is what it is. All good in the hood. I hope you guys had an amazing day. And let's get into this thing right now as we start off. We now know what divisional weekend looks like, do we? Yes, we do. This is what it looks like. We got the Bills versus the Broncos. Good Lord. That sounds – it's too early in the week to be talking about who's going to win and who's going to lose. But golly, ooh, that is a nice 4-piece with a biscuit right there because Denver been balling this year. But Buffalo, you just believe in them this year because nobody's in their way in terms of the blue bloods and the quarterbacks, right? Should be. We'll see. Come on, Josh Allen, can you beat Bo Nix? And, you know what I mean? One of those conversations. Then we got them 49ers. Hey, in L.A., no lie, all of a sudden, you don't see as many Raider jackets. More 49er cats walking around here. I'm like, y'all suspect as hell. Where'd this come from? 49er jackets everywhere. All these bloods wearing gold. I'm like, where's this? L.A. All right, and they got to go get Seattle. Now, last time we seen that y'all play, that didn't go so well for you 49ers, right? So, we'll see. Let's get to the Rams and Bears. Now, to me, that's the best game because I don't know what to expect from the Bears, and even when you think you know, hold your breath. I mean, if that clock still has 1 second left on it and Caleb Williams is in striking distance, duck. He's about to do something versus the MVP this year, Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Sean McVay is such a great everything. Person, coach. I remember when I first met him and he was just coming to L.A. and I was like, how old are you? And everybody was saying that. I think it was like, 33, 32, something crazy. I was like, but when you spoke to him, you're like, yo. Like Doogie Howser or something. Like it was like this young intellectual like genius. Right, like he was just talking real deep, but not like trying to impress you deep. Just like, no, this is my normal. My normal's deep. You know what I mean? His pool is 8 feet the whole way, no shallow end. I was like, damn, dog, next level. Every time I see him, every time I meet him, he's with the energy, but also with the acumen. Damn, I love that dude. That's the best. Let me not say the best. He the best coach. All right, let's get over here though. Vrabel, my dog, got to go get some Texans. Now this is interesting because if anybody's going to beat the Patriots, it's not going to be in a conventional way, right? It's going to be on some gangster. Ain't going to be a gentleman won't beat the Patriots. That's why the Chargers left. And that's why the Chargers lost. We're gentlemen out here playing a nice game of pigskin. Nah. You got to get gangster with them, like the defense for the Houston Texans. So we're going to talk through that and have some fun with that. All love, all y'all. So what y'all up to now? Let me beat it up in the comments, see what my people talking about. Who rocking with your boy? Oh, yeah, look at this already. People here. I love it. It's early in the morning, ain't it? Everywhere. I don't care. You can be in Australia. It's the next day, but it's still early. Love to y'all, man. I see you. Number 2 today is MD Tailed. He says, that dude. Blah, blah, blah. Good morning to all you guys. All right. Love. Y'all want to talk Steelers? I see you, Jeffrey Thomas. We're going to talk some Steelers as well. Now, let's get into it, shall we? You wanted to talk about the Steelers? Well, we will. After we talk about, I want to just get on to these announcers real quick. Let's get some love. So Saturday's game is Bills at Broncos. We're going to have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. We got a topic on Tony Romo today. They had his head. They said he's regressed. They said he ain't that good anymore. Okay, you can predict a play or two, but other than that, what are you doing? You know, and I like Tony Romo. Matter of fact, he's still the guy that when he's on, I'm actually going to listen with the volume up because I love when he predicts plays. Now, I know he has had some missteps, some gaffes, and we're going to talk through that. But at the same time, that's Nance and Romo. Poor Nance. He's taking a lot of heat just because of Romo. They don't never say anything bad about Jim Nance. You're like, damn, I got the wrong partner. Anyway, 49ers then come on with the Seahawks, and you got Kevin Burkhardt. Can't say anything bad about him. And he had to take a lot of hell for Tom Brady. But now Tom Brady is balling, as they say in the booth. Yes, and I'm going to do a breakdown of Tom Brady maybe tomorrow. He talking about how you're supposed to hold the ball based on the wind. Wind conditions, holding the ball, next level. Oh, I love it. All right, and Sunday, another day to get fat. Poor families, poor kids, poor wife. Houston Texans at New England Patriots. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Yeah, now that's a team right there. And then you got the Rams at the Bears, and we got Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. That's the best game then. I think they just give the best game to Sunday night, right? And if that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. All right, let's get into it now. I know y'all want to talk a little bit of them Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, Pittsburgh Steelers talk. Pittsburgh Steelers time. It is here. Let's go.
I'd like to ask you both on the way out about a guy that you've covered that spans literally lifetimes. Different teams, different networks, different times in all of our lives, right? And that's Aaron Rodgers, and I heard you talking about it at the end. If this is indeed the end, that's a wrap. We put the book on the shelf. How do you guys both sort of view his place in the game?
I mean, I'll let him go because you played this position, and when Aaron Rodgers was at his best, man, we saw a guy that just could use his legs, his arm, throw off, any platform, whatever you want to say. The guy was unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, as far as how you rank him and all that, I mean, and the numbers speak for themselves and what he's been able to accomplish. I never imagined, to be honest with you, that Aaron Rodgers would play into his 40s, and I'm not so sure that he did either. It's hard to believe, if you go back to 2010, when he won his Super Bowl, that would be the only Super Bowl he would get to play in. And then also that's the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers had made the Super Bowl as well. I mean, that was a long time ago, but it just kind of tells you that you really can't count on anything. As young as those teams were, and as young as Mike Tomlin was, and Aaron Rodgers, and this is a disappointing end to what has been a great career. But the end usually doesn't happen the way you want it to. John Elway is one of the few. But he had a great career, and he's among the tops for sure.
Yeah, and I think just to wrap up with Aaron, I mean, it hasn't been without controversy off the field. On the field, he's been sensational to watch and been a total professional. Off the field, he is himself. And for some people, they get rubbed the wrong way, but he's kind of always been there, willing to say how he feels. He's interesting. And I think in a day and age where professional athletes kind of retreat to the old cliches, he's been an interesting guy to follow. He's always been very open and honest with us. He's been a joy to watch, and, this game will miss him if this is the end.
As you both described, time passing, it has a way of slipping by more quickly than any of us imagine. And if it is the end, it's been a remarkable run for him. Look forward to our time.
Wah, wah, wah. We're not done with the Pittsburgh Steelers with their obvious loss to the Houston Texans. That's 5 straight playoff losses by the Pittsburgh Steelers that are double digits. And I think that's the most, obviously, in NFL history, which is a skewed stat because, hey, a lot of teams don't even make it 5 times. And then when they do it, they have lost by double digits. But I digress. So, obviously, a lot of conversations. What's up with Mike Tomlin? What's up with you, Aaron Rodgers? You going to play anymore? Is he going to coach anymore in Pittsburgh, et cetera? We're going to get into that. But they said a couple of things I really want to hit on, which is one, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, amazing. And we're going to cover his career in terms of the numbers to see where he truly ranks. One of the best to ever do it. When I say that, I don't mean that in that glowing way, like, yeah. You're one of the best to do it. No, we talking about like top 5, dog. Top 5 for real. And we're going to break that down in a second. But more importantly, Aaron Rodgers is himself. I have the opportunity, a few opportunities, and now even working with Aaron Rodgers in the business capacity. But professionally, played and just respected Aaron Rodgers. He came into the league when I was still playing, but he wasn't the starter. Remember, he got drafted in 05, and then in 08, he got the starting nod. So I was still in the league, but, just hearing about Aaron Rodgers. Then you get to know Aaron Rodgers. We had our dust-ups at first. Aaron Rodgers is himself. He was clowning me. He was clowning other people. He was like, dog, why are defensive linemen talking about quarterbacks on damn TV? I remember he said that, and we had some conversation about that. But you know what? He's himself. Getting to know him over the years, he's really a good dude, like a really good dude. But if you know this family member, he the one that ain't with the fresh. He ain't with the F shit. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna do all the play. He ain't trying to get your applause. He just gonna say it. Right? You sitting there and you trying to say stuff that is nice of etiquette and you're trying to be pleasant and PC. He just gonna say it. He gonna cut through. And in this world today, obviously, if you say something, it's going to be taken one side or the other. Very few things are centric, right? You try to be centric, but being real, you got your own value system. And your value system is either skewing left, skewing right, skewing conservative, skewing liberal. It is what it is, right? But the thing is, there's an intolerance that comes when you say what you are. But people want you to tolerate who they are. This is what always happens to me. I love living anywhere. Like when I lived in Buffalo, I loved it. People were like, dog, how's Buffalo? I was like, it's great. They was like, what? I was like, dog, what do you need in the city? I was like, I wish it was sunnier. I wish it was hotter. Yeah, but when it is sunny and hot, they show up. I said, all you need is a restaurant and a mall and a movie theater and one girl. You good. And Buffalo had more than one girl. We right next to Toronto, right next to Niagara Falls. I was like, dog, Buffalo's insane. Matter of fact, because of expectations and because everybody ain't trying to go there every weekend, it's actually better. Boy, we used to go to Pure Platinum. Let me stop talking. All I got to say is winning, and it ain't no competition because everybody think Buffalo sucks. Okay. Everywhere I've been. So what happens is the same dynamic that happens in politics. No matter where you are, people judge you based on where they are, not where you are. You ask me, where do I live? Okay, in L.A. I used to live in Chatsworth. Oh, that's too far. Too far from what? There's a Walmart down the street. There's a Target down the street. There's a Neiman Marcus down the street. Like, too far from what? There's restaurants, Cheesecake Factory down the street. What are you talking about? Too far. The school is down the street. What is too far? People always catch people. Oh, that's far. From what? What's the epicenter of your city? What's the epicenter of this world? What the fuck? Wherever I'm at, that's where I'll be, and that's where it is. So I just hate when people do that with politics. You're leaning. You leaning. Oh, well, you way over there. You thinking like that. You thinking like that. What's wrong with you? Boy, if y'all don't start nicely attacking people, play football with them. They hit you, hit them back. That's it. Simple as that. So I catch a lot of that, man, and I just see it in the political space. That's what they do to Aaron Rodgers all the time. Oh, he's thinking like that. Well, you thinking like that too. Crazy? Let's talk, Aaron.
The Mike Tomlins of the world, Matt LaFleur's of the world. Those are just two that kind of I played for. And when I first got in the league, there wouldn't be conversation about whether those guys were on the hot seat. But the way that the league is covered now and the way that there's snap decisions and the validity given to the Twitter experts and all the, experts on TV now who make it seem like they know what the hell they're talking about. To me, that's an absolute joke. And for either of those two guys to be on the hot seat is really apropos of where we're at as a society and a league because obviously Matt's done a lot of great things in Green Bay and we had a lot of success. Mike T has had more success than damn near anybody in the league.
What did you learn from being with Mike for a season about him?
I've answered that a number of times. I've talked extensively about how I feel about Mike. And I just did in that answer, so thanks.
Whoa, okay. So much for emotional decisions not being made.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I don't like her. You know me. What I mean by that is she's always snarky. Okay? This person, what's her name? Beat it up in the comments. I'm not a fan.
Okay, so much for
this one. Who's that? That's about the 7th time I caught her coming off of something. And first of all, that's my homie. Like real life, Mike Eves. I haven't seen him in a couple of months or maybe last event, but he used to live right down the street from me in Manhattan Beach. So before he moved to Bristol, that's a while ago. But shout out to him, great golfer too. I don't know her, but Bristol or something like that. Anyway, I'm not trying to go in on her, but stop trying to go in on people. He literally gave you an open heart conversation. He literally just told you what he felt about them and why he felt that way and why are we using ignorance to validate and substantiate that these guys should be on the hot seat. He's never had a losing season, but he's on the hot seat. Well, he can't win it all. Most people, most coaches, most players don't win it all. But is he putting you in position to have success? Is he leading your organization properly? Do you have a chance? Find a quarterback first. Ben Roethlisberger, yeah, you've been to 2 Super Bowls and won. And you've been to 3 with Roethlisberger, right? He won 2. Not Tomlin. Tomlin went to 2 and lost 1. Point being, where are you going to go? That's better. But then forget all that. Forget all that. To take that and say, so much for emotional decisions. No, I'm over here pouring out my heart as much as I want to and should in this moment and being very candid. And then some dude who was obviously sitting there playing solitaire with Stephen A. or just reading his tweets looks up and says, oh, let me ask you the same question in a different way so maybe I get a different answer. Dog, show some respect, bruh. First of all, we just lost the game. We lost our season. And then you asking me questions about what's going to happen with him when you know I don't have the power to make that happen. But you want to know because you nosy or you can't do your job. I'll help you do it. but I'm going to say it. And then when I say it, you don't like the answer? Oh. And then you going to sit here in your air-conditioned studio and say, oh, excuse me. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just letting you know. That's why the game is so twisted right now. Trust me, we're going to talk about it. So who is Aaron Rodgers? Since they all want to play games, this is Aaron Rodgers.
He was lightly recruited out of high school, 1 season at junior college, then 2 at Cal. He slid to the 24th pick in the 2005 draft, backed up Brett Favre for 3 seasons. But it's been worth the wait. 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, and MVP. And his top 5 all-time in pass yards, touchdown passes, number 1 all-time in passer rating. It just goes on and on and on. He was lightly recruited out of high
Yes, it does. Yes. He could have went to Indiana, lightly recruited, right? Probably went to James Madison. Then next thing you know, Signetti like, I got this quarterback that was at James Madison. He was lightly recruited. What? You got Aaron Rodgers, Fernando Mendoza? Like, that's how the game goes right now. But Aaron Rodgers went to Cal. I have a fondness for Cal because I was going to go there out of high school, but then their coach left, went to Arizona State. Shout out, rest in peace, I should say, I think Coach Riddell. Anyway, he goes to Arizona State, and they still recruit me at Arizona State like they just transferred to recruiting. I thought Cal wanted me. Coach wanted me when he was at Cal, then Coach wanted me at Arizona State. I said, Coach, I love you. Arizona State, not for your boy. Too much partying first, at least in reputation. And I didn't want to be perceived as a partier. I'm will party, trust me, but I need you to think something different. I need you to think I'm smart. Then I'll party. Anyway, couldn't go to Arizona State. Didn't go to Cal. Then I was going to transfer to Cal. I told you guys that before, my junior year. And then I stayed at Columbia. Best decision I ever made because I didn't run from my problems. All right, I addressed them head on. So now let's get into this head on. Who is Aaron Rodgers? Let's look at 3 categories. In terms of passing yards, this is Aaron Rodgers. This is sick. Look at these faces. All right, this is going in order, right? Aaron Rodgers is 5th all-time in passing yards. Tom Brady, damn, he don't eat no carbs. Sick. Drew Brees, Drew down, my homie. Shout out to pickleball and my former teammate. You know he can't lift his arm higher than here? We played pickleball, and he was like, yeah, I got to use my other arm. I could do this, but this arm, the one he tore off his torso in San Diego when they hired. See, remember they had Drew Brees for a few years, and they was like, nah, we need another quarterback. They got Phillip Rivers in the first round. Then Drew Brees balled that year, but then at the last game, he tore his arm off his body. Then he got it all rehabbed, and it was New Orleans great and all that, et cetera, Hall of Famer. Yeah, that's Drew Brees right there. Crazy, right? But see, people always want to try and make things racial. I just want to point things out, the hypocrisy. Drew Brees literally was there as a 2nd-round franchise quarterback, and they drafted a 1st-round franchise quarterback. White on white crime. Just want to point those things out when you guys want to get lost in your little politics. All right, Peyton Manning right here. Dog, look at that. You can't even get all that head in there. Oh, there you go. I was about to say, damn, Peyton. The sheriff. I mean, the NFL's general. Like, if there's a general manager for the NFL, someone who just represents the brand everywhere consistently with excellence, is him. But he's number 3. Number 4, Brett Favre. Don't play no games. Now, I know that hurts a little bit. That got to sting if you're Aaron Rodgers because you know you wanted to up your boy. But at the same time, you got to play two more years. That's passing yards? Yeah, that's a 5,000-plus season right there. Yeah, you got to play 2 more years. I don't know if you're going to do that. Okay, so let's go to the second one. I think touchdowns matter, right? Let's go there. Let's see if this internet, see if I pay my bill. Yes, pay my bill. Here we go. Once again, that face again, no carbs. Once again, Drew Brees. Damn, the order, does it change? Aaron's like, yeah, you throwing all them yards up and down the field, 20 to 20s, but you ain't getting it in the zone like me. So Aaron Rodgers is number 4. Told you he top 5. And then, last one but not least, let's see passer rating. This is my favorite stat for quarterbacks. I know y'all into other stuff, win, loss, and all that. Yeah, that's cool. A lot of players win a lot of regular season games too. But at the same time, passer rating just tell me, man, they don't get passer rating wrong. Oh, do they? Let me stop. Lamar Jackson's the best passer ever. I love it. It's weird. Like, you be like, what y'all considering? How is he better than Aaron Rodgers in passer rating? He is. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, 4-time MVP. Aaron Rodgers, number 2. Who is number 3? I don't even know about. Joe Burrow. He ain't even happy playing football. Look at that face. All right, Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson. Okay, maybe passer rating ain't the best. Damn, he using that Seattle equity up. And Deshaun Watson is 6. Okay, I got to look at passer rating again. Maybe I was Maybe I talked too soon. Okay, love to you guys. Beat up in the comments. Aaron Rodgers is top 5 all time, right? Everybody knows that, right? Yes, no, maybe so. Please be on board with that. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Well, where's his respect for the viewers at home? Chris says that. I think you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Let me just say this. Respect for viewers. I mean, give me some quotes. I think Aaron Rodgers is what you rather have in the NFL in terms of personality. I mean, the dude told you, I'm not getting vaccinated. Then he actually said something else. He kind of lied. What did he say? He was like, he tried to dance around it because he knew how much cultural pressure we were all facing to get vaxxed. I got vaxxed. I got all the what was those things? The vax, the updates. I forgot the updates, whatever they call them. I just kept going back to the park every other month, getting another thing, and then going home and getting sick. But I never had COVID during that time. It's just way later I got COVID. But yeah, it was a cultural pressure. If you ain't doing this, I was like, what? I do what I want to do. I just did it because I had itty bitties and kids. If I ain't had no kids, hell no, I ain't getting vaxxed. For what? I'm young and in shape. Hell no. Anyway, but I was a part of that. I ain't campaigned for it. I was just like, dog, I'm getting vaxxed. I got kids. And if you didn't get vaxxed, you still the homie. Just don't come over. I'll see you when this shit over. They were like, what? I was like, I'll see you when it's over. And then I loosened up at the end. I was like, all right, come in the backyard, but stay over there. I was for real. I ain't about to die because you the homie. Are you kidding me? People was like, oh, boosters. That's what they call them, boosters. Thank you. Thank you, Dominique D'Angelo. I didn't know what the hell they were. I was like, just shoot me up. Boy, they had some pretty nurses out there. It was so bad. The COVID was so bad that everywhere you went, you were like, man, she amazing. You married and stuck in the house all day with an iPad and your kids and your wife, and you go out to the damn park to get a booster, and you're looking at her like, whoa, she is a 4, but not now. She is a 10. Oh, man. Yeah, he said he was immunized. I don't even know how to say the word. Yeah, VJ. Yeah, Aaron lied about that, but I like Aaron Rodgers. I like anybody who's themselves. I don't care. I'd rather Aaron Rodgers than a Russell Wilson persona. I'll tell you why. Because ain't no way Russell Wilson really act like that, even though he really does. Every time I've been around, I'm like, yo, this is really you? You really not going to turn this off? He like, no. But I'd rather Aaron Rodgers for my league than Russell Wilson. I don't need somebody out there just spreading butter and butter knives all on the bread. I need somebody to bake the bread. Somebody get in there and mix it up. That's Aaron Rodgers to me. So whatever. Love to him, man. And one of the greats. On this show, we celebrate greatness. I don't care if I agree with it, disagree it, like or not. We're going to respect it. And he is one of the greats to ever play the position. Okay, now, there's a conversation about how great Jalen Hurts is in playing the position. We got to get into this because Jalen Hurts is taking a lot of shots. And his coach, Nick Sirianni, now you find yourself in the line of fire. But there was a time where everyone thought this was going to be amazing. So the cost of praise is criticism. You're going to get criticized when we praise you. Simple as that. So let's hear it. Let's hear some of the praise first.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are the modern-day Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Just total alignment. Like, you know what I remember Belichick and Brady constantly saying stuff and being like, there's no way you actually think that or feel that way or you operate like that. And it feels the same way. Jalen's just robotic and maniacal and very focused, not out in the public like Tom was when he was playing. And Sirianni, there's no way that he doesn't know. But he says, and you're like, maybe he didn't really know. Like the same way Coach Belichick would say stuff when he'd be like, there's no way that you think that way. It just feels like their alignment and the way that they're so hyper-focused and blocking out the noise, it's very Belichick-Brady-like. Yeah, Nick Sirianni.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it? Blah, blah, blah. So not so much a hot take, but let's call that a warm take because he's trying to get in front of something, right? And that's what you do in this business. You always got to look for an example, a metaphor, analogy. You got to bring things home. You got to have a story. You got to have some connection point. Just saying something as is gets bland and boring, right? We all know that. So they always try to find something out there in the zeitgeist, something in the cultural horizon and say, oh, this reminds me of that. Well, let's just say what goes up must come down.
I got to be honest. I'm so glad Philly lost. That their tushes got pushed out of the playoffs.
Pause.
Because the NFL playoffs are about the best coaches and the best quarterbacks. And Philly has neither. They don't have either. Bottom line is, let's talk Niners. From the opening drive to the perfectly timed trick play, to their ingenuity, to their efficiency on third down, Kyle Shanahan is using coupons and buying a month full of groceries for $48, and I feel like Sirianni hit the lottery and he's broke 2 years later. San Francisco is totally resourceful. I mean, think about this. Nick Sirianni gets 2 picks, a 27-yard punt by the Niners. George Kittle gets hurt. You're at home. And this year, in the second half, all year, Philadelphia averages 9 points in the second half, including the playoffs. 26th in the league. 26th in second half yards. There's no creativity. And I think Philadelphia, like a poorly coached team, is getting worse over time. I mean, I'm the one thing I'll say about Philly is that their run defense was great, but that's Vic Fangio. Everything I liked about the Eagles was Vic Fangio. Think about this. San Francisco's 6 highest paid players missed 60% of the snaps. How in the hell are they 13-5? How are they winning these games? I've been critical of Brock Purdy, but you know what? Short memory, couple of bad picks, one really bad, did not matter. Great final drive, big throws, didn't have George Kittle second quarter on, didn't always have the greatest protection. There was pressure. And let's be honest about Jalen Hurts. He's pretty consistently ineffective in the pocket. Greg Cosell's been telling us for years. Tom Brady on the broadcast said it. Why are you rolling out? He's rolling out because he can't see because he's too small. And so, again, playoffs to me are about Shanahan and Robert Saleh. I mean, Shanahan's a wizard. That opening drive, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What was that? And that trick play wasn't like a hook and lateral in the red zone. That's a big boy trick play. Reverses, receiver throwing deep. For 3.5 hours, you saw coaching. Whenever a coach makes like $15 million a year, people are like, whoa, coaching's overrated. Exhibit A of why it's not. That was a coaching mismatch. One coach was ChatGPT and the other was crayons. That wasn't even close. So the Eagles are boring. They're not creative. They've got an unbelievable roster. But 40% of their drives yesterday were 3 and out. Philadelphia led the NFL in percentage of 3 and out. How? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. Get out of here. Get that tush pushed out of here. And by the way, I don't want to hear about Sirianni. Boy, he's great in the locker room. He is great. Putting a fence around this team. He's barking at A.J. Brown again on the sidelines. Come on, you got to grow up at some point. So to me, the NFL playoffs are about quarterback play, efficiency, ingenuity, overcoming, resourcefulness, and that all came outside of Vic Fangio from one side.
Boy. God dang, he lit him up. Can we talk for real? Can we talk for real or can we talk for real? Golly, Colin, stall him out. Woo! This is the thing about war. And war, when I say war, I mean confrontation. I mean, you're sitting there on some rocks. You're sitting there and you know you got to get something off your chest. They always say that war can't be avoided, just postponed. So all these rumblings about Jalen Hurts, all these rumblings about Nick Sirianni, and which started at his first press conference. I remember when that happened because even Emmanuel Acho, I thought he went too far. I said it on there. I was like, damn, dog, it's a press conference. He's like, there's no way he can coach. There's no way he can do this. Look at him. He can't even finish a sentence. He can't even complete a sentence. Who is this guy? He's too nervous. I was like, then he went to a Super Bowl. Well, he lost. Then he went to a Super Bowl. Then he won. And then, everybody feels like either A, I got to reverse course because maybe I was wrong, or B, let me just save that one. Put it in the archives. Whatever you want to do with it, it's back. You don't hit refresh. Oh, yeah. It's so crazy. Like, if you guys ever read the book by Malcolm Gladwell, Blink, and if you've read it, you understand, like, you got to really trust in these first impressions, these reactions, these gut reactions, etc. But beyond that, taking it beyond what Gladwell was saying and trying to extract it, I remember seeing this study about reactions. Cognitive reactions, that means mental, like processing reactions, right? And then you could talk about like your intuitive reactions, right? There's no processing to it. It's just impulse. It's just, I felt it, right? So gut reaction basically, or brain reaction. And they said gut reaction is 1,000,000 times faster than brain reaction. intuitive reaction is 1,000,000 times faster than cognitive reaction. And the first thing I thought was like, 1,000,000? You know how fast it is for me to think and process something? You mean 1,000,000 times faster? Like when you find out what's the speed of light, you be like, what? It's insane, right? Imagine you driving down the 405 and you saw the speed limit and it was like light and then it had the number. You're like, what? Can't go that fast unless I got a Tesla Plaid at that. So the thing is, you're like, whoa. But think about it. How many times you been somewhere? How many times you hit that turn and it's that corner, it's that alley, and you feel something? How many times you been walking, you just feel something? How many times you been in the house and you just feel something? How many times you been wrong with that? Right? How many times you thought something? How many times you been wrong with that? But the point is that connection, that mind-gut connection, right? So now what we're saying is we've thought this because we felt this about Jalen Hurts. You go all the way back to college, and I keep bringing this up, and I got high praise for Jalen Hurts as a ambassador, as a player, not as a elite quarterback, but right under there, like a damn good quarterback. But when you get benched in the national championship game, I just know how you get to that point. I know as me playing, I know when I was on the bubble, I knew when I was the untouchable, and also knew when I better work my ass off or I'm going to be working at FedEx. I know how you get in those positions, and you don't get in those positions easily. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like you got to put in work, and then, boy, when you untouchable, it ain't nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to get off of that. They just going to rock with you because you are it. And we've all thought Jalen Hurts wasn't it. Even though it was happening, it was working, that ain't it. Sirianni. People saying you should have fired your offensive coordinator early. You didn't. Came back to haunt you. You got too much talent. That's also always a situation of doom. When you got so much and people can see it, and then all they see is this, and then they see a team with less do more. The 49ers are greater than the sum of its parts. You're lesser than the sum of your parts. Oh, that's coaching. That's our mathematical equation. Oh, that's coaching. I don't want to hear that, coach. No. You can't get more out of these guys. You can't run a tighter ship. Let Kirk Signetti get the. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I don't know how Kirk will work on the pro level, but let him. Look what he's doing right now. Miami's in the national championship game. Indiana's in the national championship game. But it seems like from different perspectives and different roads traveled. One took a talent road, and one said, we're going to take a work ethic mode, and we're going to build you up. We're going to take these older players that are lesser and make them more mature, more professional at the collegiate level. The other one, we're going to say, we're going to take these dogs, and we're going to make them go out there, bark, and bite. We're going to see what happens next Monday. But typically, in this world, this is why I'm always attacking like some of the narratives and some of the myths out there. Raise your kids to get paid to get success with their brain over their body. I don't care what it is. I don't care if he's a 5-star, brain over body, because 1, you could use this longer. 2, you use this stronger. Columbia recruited me, not saying we had 3 players in the Ivy League in the NFL, which we only had at the time. 1992, there were 3 players in the NFL from the Ivy League, they said. I ain't even fact check. We didn't have an internet. But they said we had 6 owners. Brain over body. All the people that I know that got it, didn't get it with their body. There's a few, but most of them got it with their brain. Okay, let's use our brain talking about this topic. Everybody's talking about the reporter. The reporter who talked to Lynn Cohn. The lady. I want to keep it like nondescript because it takes twists and turns as we reveal who she is and what she is. And, people tripping out. But Pat McAfee caught wind of this, and Pat McAfee had a few choice words for it. Let's go.
There's people down there in Duval, down there in Jacksonville, who appreciate Liam Cohen's process.
How you doing today? Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press News. I just want to tell you congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank you.
And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
Keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hell yeah. Lynn Jones, Jacksonville Free Press, 27 seconds. Just to let Liam Cohen know. Probably, I'm assuming we need to reach out to Miss Lynn Jones. Obviously, we will try to do that. We should have done that. Better journalism on our part. We'll talk about journalism here in a second. But probably somebody that's been around for a little bit, probably been around a little bit, and just saying, hey, nobody expects you to do that this year. You know, you should hold your head up high. We appreciate you here in this city. You know, we probably talked to each other here a lot through the last season. You know, that's every day. The local crew is like, I'm not saying Lynn is. I'm just saying the local crew is like an everyday thing. Just want to let you know you did a good job this year. We appreciate you. 27 seconds. 27 seconds.
It's a lot of time.
27 seconds of, hey, yeah, good stuff. And then, you know, everybody in the sports journalism world say, this is out of line. This
unbelievable.
Can't do it.
Can't have it.
What are we doing here? We got deadlines. What's your deadline? A tweet? What are we even talking about now in 2026 about a deadline? Everybody's on a deadline. First tweet out wins in everything. We are all trying to post stuff now at the same exact time. Now, I know you got to write an entire article, and those 27 seconds can certainly change, especially if those 27 seconds are supposed to be meant on miserable, terrible things. Okay? If they're supposed to be miserable, terrible things, those 27 seconds aren't wasted. If those are dumb questions about things that you don't have right that happened on a football field that you just thought were happening, those 27 seconds are A-okay. But a positive, hey, you did good for us this year. We appreciate you. For 27 seconds, can't have it.
No place for it.
Can't have it. It's like, what a weird thing to come out publicly and say, this is disgusting. Who do you think you are to say that you think that's disgusting and it matters? Like, that is a crazy thing about the sports media people.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm going to let McAfee go. Expound on that because... And I got so many layers of this, I'm going to have to take this over a couple of days because I don't want to dilute it. There's the layer of what Lynn Jones, the lady, obviously sounds like who she is, if you know. She's a reporter, black woman reporter, older, cute though, older black woman reporter, been in the game forever. Who just gave you the auntie, just gave you the grandma love, just gave you a big pot of something to eat. Here, baby, here's some good home cooking. Let me remind you. Let me give you perspective, okay? But them journalists out there, you know who they are. Anytime you hear something, I'm a journalist. It's always meant something. It's always been cold to hear somebody say they're a journalist. Usually you'd be like failed athlete who's now miserable, who's now going to cover something that you wish you could do. Okay, I'm not going to judge you until I read what you write. But it's going to probably leak out your resentment. That's the toughest thing. One, you see one reporter who ain't got no shape, no body, 2 left feet, and you're like, man, I'm going to respect this dude because he's going to do his job. But then when you read it, you're like, he didn't do his job. 1, he couldn't even do my job. He couldn't do this job. But 2, not even that distance. It's just the fact that you are really upset that you couldn't do this. You mad you got to talk to somebody half your age and twice your build, in better shape than you, living a better life than you, allegedly, based off of monetary success. And you notice I say allegedly because money ain't everything. And then you just shot. It's like they Little John. Everybody shot. Or there's the reporter that actually is doing his job. He's so happy. He knew he never was gonna be you. He knew he never was gonna be it. He knew he was never gonna be in that position. But damn it, this is as close as I can get, and I'm so thankful. This is such a precious opportunity. Every time I'm gonna do my job, I'm gonna be critical when necessary, but I'm also gonna praise when necessary, and I'm gonna do this. Oh, give it to me, baby. You know? Those guys, the ones you love the most, that you want to see, because you know they're going to keep it 100. I'm telling you, every athlete knows when they mess up. The first one that knows it is them, the mirror. They're going to be the last one to admit it because they're competitive. They got an ego. That's how they became so hyper successful, hyper competitive. But to all those reporters out there that did it the right way, a Sam Farmer out there, oh my God, come on. Y'all know who Sam Farmer is? Did it the right way. Not with all this, I don't know. Journalists, huh? Let's read about these journalists, shall we? Love seeing these sports journalists getting absolutely buried for being curmudgeon bums. Let me stop right here before I go further because I think I may have this in a different way. Okay, no, I don't. Okay, good. Let's continue. Obviously, not all of them, but a large percentage of these things hate sports. Choice word, things hate sports. They hate what sports are for people, happiness. They hate what sports are for society, unifier. They're political journalists by nature. So they're divisive by nature. They pick sides. Who've preyed on sports because they saw it was an easier path to make it. Yes. One thing I'm learning too, like all else fails, just say Jets over Patriots. That gets you in the game. You know, and we're going to talk about that. We got a Stephen A. Smith topic where they're really going in on Stephen A. Smith and questioning his political acumen. And that's what would happen if you went to journalism school and then you say, I want to be a political scientist or talk politics, et cetera. They're going to be like, that's a little deeper waters than just talking about the Jets going to beat the Patriots, right? Their days are numbered. My show being broadcast on ESPN 10 hours a week with zero creative say from any journalism school, Puppets is living proof of that. Okay? Zero creative say from any journalism school, Puppets is living proof of that. That's why they attack me as much as possible. I'm happy the world is starting to see what they truly are. Oof. So what I say, war can't be avoided, just postponed. This has been on his chest. He getting sick and tired. He know where it's coming from. Continue. Now, we as a society have to stop. Stop taking these particular humans seriously. Their opinions and thoughts are coming from a place of wanting to destroy sports. What I tell you about this show and why I think this show is necessary, why I designed this show like this. Literally, we're going to talk through it. Sports are the greatest thing on earth. These mother suckers have no idea and will never get it. Oh, I love you too much right now, McAfee. Also, thank you, Lynn Jones, for setting up a situation for me and all of us on how Lim Cohen, a man who might be a GOAT when he's done, handles compliments during one of his most miserable moments. He handled it with class and humility. Feels like some journalism was actually done there. Blah, blah, blah. Before I tell you guys the parallels between this and the design of this show, the show you're watching right now, let's get into how people respond to that. Okay? 99.9% of the sports reporters I know are underpaid, hardworking grinders going to work because they love what they do. Pat doesn't know anything about them, and he has never had to live in that world. They are not mad at Lynn, but ethics are important for what they do. Let's give that some credence. There are some people like, look, I ain't hating her. I'm just saying, look, there's a due process. I had to pay my dues. I had to get into this certain position this way to get that opportunity to ask Coach that question, and they were questioning her journalistic credentials. Turns out they were wrong, but they were questioning it before they knew it. Now, why did they make that lazy assumption? Older black woman who just not even asking the question, really just saying, baby, you okay? Makes you think, who is this lady? That's lazy on their part, okay? But here's another response. They're political journalists by nature who preyed on sports because they saw it as an easier path to make it, right? And here's another one. When I was in, that was a repeat of what McAfee said. When I was in college, a journalism teacher told me the best sports journalists hate the sport they cover, to be neutral and unbiased or whatever. Hey, facts. Like they thought the only way for you to do that was to act that way. Just like in the old school, they used to say, the only way to focus is to only have one dot on the wall and stare at it. That's focus. Football. Eat football. Drink football. Think football. Sleep football. I'm focused. New school now is it's a million things on that wall. Oh, I'm a father. I'm a husband. Oh, I'm an ambassador. Oh, I'm on this board. Oh, okay, I got these ventures over here. I got a million things, but I know what to prioritize. Focus is this now. That's number 1. That's number 2. That's 3. That's 4, 5. Many dots on the wall. Knowing how to prioritize them. Continue. I thought I wanted to be a sports writer because I love sports. I didn't listen to that person. Etc. The design of this show, literally, I love it when moments like this validate what McAfee is feeling, and this validates what I am doing. I tell you why. Because I said I wanted to do a show where we talked about sports, but I didn't want to talk just about sports. Like I do film session. I break down film. We talk pure sports topics. I'm not in it for the clicks because I know I could get more viral. One, let's start here. I wouldn't do a 5 o'clock in the morning live if I really wanted to be the biggest, baddest. Not the best time. YouTube tells you that. It's like, a little early. Whatever. I want to do it. It fits my schedule. More importantly, I want to start the day off like this. Okay? What are we doing? We're covering sports. But we're covering how they cover sports. And we're covering them. Why? Because the bias. Why? Because they'll make you not respect and salute greatness. They'll make you look at Aaron Rodgers a little sideways. They'll go on campaigns to say, all the anti-vaxxers, boo. Hold on, dog. I thought we were talking about the Jets and Patriots. The hell are you talking about this for? They'll make you not salute LeBron James, instead be like, you better like Jordan or else. Why can't you just say this dude? As Isaiah Thomas always points out, which he gets criticized for, y'all are going to miss out on maybe one of the best players ever, if not the best player ever. Because of what? Because of what? Sweatsuits, Jumpman sweatsuits, tennis shoes. Like, every generation's supposed to say, my rapper's the best rapper. This generation, we forgot that because we got campaigned. Skip Bayless made a name, La Bum. Stephen A. Smith took the torch and took it personal. Took it personally. I don't like that dude. He don't like me either. I never heard LeBron say he don't like you. I heard LeBron say I don't funk with you by his actions, but he didn't never say I don't like you. We gave him campaigns, y'all. So me, because I have this ability and I have this desire to get in rooms where people are not liking each other and say, come here, calm down, shut up. One, because no one's going to swing on me. If you ever see me in real life, not exactly what you want. Even though I ain't going to do nothing to you, just not what you want. I look athletic enough and I'm big enough where you're like, that's a bad combo. Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? But the validation of this show really is to look at not just what you're seeing, but why you think what you think you're seeing. Lynn Jones, thank you. Just going in there and passing out some sweet potato pies made everybody have to start to pick their side instead of like riding for sports. I'm riding for sports, but who is she? What is she? So tune in tomorrow. We're going to talk about Jamil Hill. We're going to talk about a couple other reporters who really went there. And then, came back. Like, what's the problem? Let me beat up in the comments, see what y'all talking about before I get to the next topic. I think my alarm. Did y'all hear an alarm? Or is that my ears ringing? I might have to turn this down. No, that's just my ears ringing. I got poked in the eardrum when I was in college. Nastiest story. Let me tell you real quick. Coming out the shower, we had co-ed dorms. It's crazy. When you have co-ed dorms, when you read that, you're like, it's on. It's cracking. Oh, showers. Oh, I'm going to be soapy. She is too. You get there, it just immediately turns you off. It's almost like the phenomena of like mommy says, okay, baby, I'll see you later. Don't eat those cookies. Soon as she leave, you're eating the cookies because you can't. Now I am. But when they say you can, no, you ain't. I ain't nobody. I mean, it was chill. Anyway, I'm coming out the shower and I had a Q-tip in my ear, all bad on me. I'm cleaning my ears out, walking through the shower. Got a towel on, 6-pack on fleek. I'm coming up and doing this. And one of my homegirls who didn't see me, she came from this side. What up, Marcy? She used to call me Marcy. What up, Marcy? Homegirl for real. Never touched her. What up, Marcy? And came like that with the high hug. Of all times, the high hug. She little. Why are you trying to come up here? I was like, oh. Q-tip disappeared. Woo, sonic boom. Pow. Blood dripping. I immediately yanked out. Freak out. Football player. Thank God I was a football player. Calm down. It calmed me down. Walked across the street to the hospital. They was like, yeah, you got your eardrum busted. It'll heal, but you. So every now and then, I guess, the eardrum will do what it does. Okay, so beat up in the comments. Let me see what y'all talking about before we get to Tony Dungy, who was talking about how unfair these playoffs are, which is interesting, right? Okay. Let's get it in. The realist says, salute Wiley in the chat. Yeah, everybody hit the like button right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like. Right? Thank you guys for doing that. Blah, blah, blah. Not one lie told. Yeah, Universal Trappers. I don't know what we talking about, but yep, I'm not on a mission to lie. Intelligence is in critical thinking skills, Chris. I hate when people say smart is not intelligent, which is critical thinking. Look, I love you, Chris. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What are you talking about? Let's talk about this. I know what Tony Dungy talking about. He's talking about this. The NFL playoff scheduling is not fair. It might produce good ratings, but it's not fair. This late in the season, recovery time is crucial, and it is not given equally. Rams and Bears played Saturday games. They will face each other on Sunday with an extra day of rest. Who's thinking this? I know I have been. 49ers played on Sunday and will face Seattle on Saturday. Short week of recovery. Why? Who's been thinking this? I know I have. In the AFC, the Bills will have to travel to Denver on a short week. Why? Because there's a Monday night AFC wildcard game. The Texans play Pittsburgh. The winner will automatically have a short week and travel to New England. Why? I know I've been thinking this. Another day of rest? Several years ago, the league did away with the Monday night games in week 18 of the regular season because it created a disadvantage if one of those teams made the playoffs. Now we create that disadvantage. I wonder why. The wild card round should be 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday. Then try to schedule the divisional games so the teams have equal rest. Don't force San Francisco, Buffalo, and now we know Houston to play the most important game of their season on the short week just for TV ratings. That is not fair. So here's the schedule and how it puts teams on that disadvantage. Here's the solution. Don't schedule on Monday night. I was thinking the same thing. Like, what we got a Monday night in the playoffs for what? Put Rams, Bears on Saturday and frankly, Sunday night is better than Monday night now. The game's changed, so stop it. Put Rams, Bears on Saturday and 49ers, Seahawks on Sunday. Still might have one team on short week, but not 3. So nothing's perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good, as they say, right? But do something that's good. Do some good. Golly, makes no sense, okay? So y'all get what he's saying. Beat it up in the comments. Let's see what he's saying. Oh, I'm having a beef right now. Let me stop. I'm having an comprehension understanding with one of you guys in the chat. Everybody go in the chat if you got a question. Let's go. Ooh, Devin Bell said Matt Barnes got on the next. Good. I got to see what Matt Barnes said about that. Send me the clip. Chris, critical thinking is a skill set. Intelligence is raw ability. Love you too, Wiley. Oh, okay. So you're saying he's just more intelligent than somebody else, but then critical thinking. Yeah, critical thinking does take you to stop and think. That's one thing I notice about some smart people, not a lot, but enough smart people where I'm like, oh, you're not thinking though. And that is critical thinking to your point. You're right. You're smart. I know you're smart. I know you're intelligent, but you're not stopping to think. Literally, people will be hypocritical because they will say, like we said earlier in the show, you live far away. If you ever just stop and think, that means you live far away from me. Oh, you think you hold something closer, or you think you hold and tethered to the epicenter. You think you are central to something. You're the main star in your movie in your head, but not in my head. So if I live in Inland Empire and then you live in Beverly Hills sitting there like, damn, you live far. If I'm Inland Empire, I stop taking that. I say, damn, you live far. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? Far from what? Spago? The Golden Globes? Food, you know what I mean? Restaurants and shopping malls and malls are out here in Inland Empire. No one has ever said that sentence fast. In the Inland Empire? In the Inland Empire. You can't. Come on, y'all. Y'all need to start fighting back with critical thinking skills. I never let nobody say that to me. I'll be like, you live far. No. I live around. You know what's around me? I was like, same stuff around me. And it's cheaper. Oh, man. Well, people are saying we get a cheaper version of Tony Romo right now. Ah, that hurts. Tell me what y'all think of Tony Romo right now. Beat it up in the comments as we talk about this. But Andrew Marchand, Tony Romo doesn't appear as if he does the homework. You're watching the game and just not getting much insight. What? That's what we're doing to Romo right now? Let's get some quotes. You know us. The problem for Romo is he doesn't appear as if he does the homework. After you get further away from playing and you've been studying film, you have to keep studying film to know what's going on in the league. Facts. And if you have to take some time, and you have to take some time. I can't tell you 100% that Romo isn't studying. I can't? Okay. But that's kind of the rumor on the street, number one. And number two, you're watching the game and just not getting much insight. So we all know this comes from once you got paid. Romo got that $17.5 million per year way back. And then all of a sudden they start writing the reports, Lamar Jackson style. You get paid and all of a sudden, oh, yeah, you can't do this, you can't do that. Even though there may be some validity to it. But the point is they're saying it. This is an issue, Marchand said. They got 2 more games this year. They're under the spotlight. You have people like Barstool and Dave Portnoy now getting involved in this. You start getting this critical mass, and that's when you have an issue. Okay, so we're going to see if let's play that from Dave Portnoy. What is Romo doing that people ain't feeling right now? Tell me if y'all even follow this, let alone knows what Dave Portnoy is talking about.
Wide open tournament is about to begin. It is wide open. I don't think we've ever seen it where you're like, who's going to win? I don't know. You know, and I'm pretty good at football knowledge, and I'm like, I don't know. Today's going to be very telling, though, because Jacksonville is a complete football team. They can surprise a lot of people. Carolina did that yesterday. They earned the respect of them. Almost won, they didn't. Jacksonville's in that same situation. They could do it. This could be a major upset, even though it's really not an upset because the Bills are actually the underdog, but they're the overdog. Well, we'll see today. That wide.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Obviously not his best opening, not his best 30 seconds. We know that. Kind of reminds me of when Stephen A. was going at LeBron, I think it was, and then he put up a whole low light. Was it LeBron? And he put up this film of low lights of LeBron or something crazy. Was it LeBron? It felt like it was LeBron. I don't know. But the point is that backfired on Stephen A. because everybody was like, everybody could put up everybody's low lights and it looks bad. That's why I always say on this show, be careful when you're talking trash to somebody. What if somebody knew your 5 low lights? Most people, their 5 worst low lights, no one knows. And if at most the person that if someone else was involved, knows. That's it. So I don't really like to judge off of that. Now that wasn't a good example of Tony Romo at his best, right? But that's still a conversation people are having. People are saying, look, I don't know what you're thinking about Tony Romo, but he ain't it. And speaking of that, what do you think of Tony Romo? To me, I like Tony Romo. I will admit, though, I will say this. Tony Romo of late, how do I say it? There doesn't seem like there's another page that he's turning. That doesn't mean bad because he started so fast. So there's this mental gymnastics going on with Tony Romo. He was so amazing so fast, and now we're like, be more amazing than amazing, and we're like, there's no more room. Like some people, like Tom Brady, started off slower, lower, and is building. Some people like Greg Olsen was just amazing and is turning the page, but at the same time, you didn't have the same expectations for him, so you made him amazing even without him being that amazing. You're like, I'm rooting for him. And he's been killing it from hello. But it's not the same as when Tony Romo, you were sitting there with a critical eye. Come on, it's Tony Romo. You're like, Tony Romo doing what? Broadcasting? Yeah, right. Let's see. Wow. So you had to erase your expectations, reset them, and give him the same as you would give a Greg Olsen. But Greg Olsen didn't have headwind. He didn't have to fight that pressure. He was likable. Everybody liked Greg Olsen. So when he was doing a great job, you're like, yeah, of course, that's Greg Olsen. When it was Romo, he's like, really? Oh, yeah, okay. And now we're like, turn the page. Greg Olsen's turning the page. Tom Brady started lower because we had that critical eye. And then now we're like, oh, he's better. He's better, right? But Romo, we ain't giving him that. It goes back to the way you come in, baby, is the way you're going out. Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, how we thought about them, hello. Now we here with Romo. Find that fascinating. Find that fascinating. Beat up in the comments. Let me know what you think before Stephen A. Smith questions John Harbaugh being viewed as a savior. Excuse me, I got a little hiccup. We're going to talk about Stephen A. and these politics, though, boy. Y'all better stick around for that. That's silly. They're going in. Romo spin undefeated. Okay, Jared M. says, not much insight, especially as a former pro. Looks worse when there's Brady and Olsen doing it at such a high level. Yeah, Wes A.R. and Jared M. I get your point. Your point is the competition is stiffer now. And we're going to base it off your competition because it's such a subjective experience. Like most games I actually don't listen to. So when I do listen, I'm like, okay. There's only a rare time where I'm like, oh, my God, make my head hurt. Like I can't listen to you because you're just stumbling over your words or you're all over the place. Look, if you're a B team, very few B teams I listen to. C teams, I can't do it because they're still working it out. You know, C team, now you know what a C team is like let's say the Jets had to play the Raiders in week 17. They're going to get that to the C team. No slight to them. They're working themselves up if they can, if there's not a glass ceiling. But, boy, they are different. There are levels to this. Troy Aikman and Joe Buck and then the C team somewhere, it's 2 different games. So they say Greg Olson's the best football announcer. Collinsworth gets on my nerves. Devin Bell. I like Collinsworth, but, he's going to come with a nice slice of apple pie. You know that. Let him be. Okay, let's get into this topic. I think this is interesting. Stephen A. Smith questions John Harbaugh being viewed as a savior. If he gets another head coaching job, I'm certainly not going to sneeze at that. He says that so that lets you know, based on how Stephen A. Smith does his reporting, he gives you the flattery before he gives you the criticism. So John Harbaugh can coach. I respect him. If he gets another head coaching job, I'm certainly not going to sneeze at that. John Harbaugh can coach. I get it. But he hasn't won a Super Bowl since 2012. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl since that time. And he's had Lamar Jackson for the last 7.5 years and only went to 1 AFC championship game. How the hell is he leapfrogging to the front of everybody's list like he's some savior? Huh? Let's talk, y'all. Let's talk. What happened to people thinking about a Lim Cohen, McDonald, or people like that, even Sean McVay? What happened to some new fresh blood? Smith. That's what he says. So, who's the new fresh blood out there that we should be looking at as a coach instead of Harbaugh is the top coach? Every open slot in the NFL, John Harbaugh is the number 1 coach for that position. Isn't that crazy? Tell me, what you think? Huh? Beat up in the comments. Why? Should it be that way? Is it that way? Seems that way. So beat it up in the comments. Okay, this is interesting. This is fascinating. Let's get to this. The best chess match you're going to see. Watch how the games are called. Watch how the games are played. I always want to break it down for you guys how the game is really played in terms of the coach's mind. Okay? It's not just run, jump, sprint. Nah, it's a human chess match.
Ben Johnson came out on top in a legendary chess match because in the first quarter, he called this wide bunch look to the field side, and you notice the Packers defense only responded with 2 DBs over there. So the Bears were like, let me just hit this quick little screen out to Luther Burden, pick up 12 yards. So that told the Packers.
Yeah, catch this, all right? So this is the first play of a setup. Coaches always throw out breadcrumbs, then they throw out the whole loaf, and they go for broke.
Defense that the Bears are willing to take what they give them. So then in the second quarter, when the Bears come out and motion Colston Loveland in and kind of create one of those similar looks, something that they could run the screen out of, the Packers this time respond with man coverage. They want to match the numbers on the outside. They don't want to get beat by another one of those screen passes, so much so that their DBs kind of sit down on the shorter route, allow DJ Moore to come free, and he gets open for a first down.
Okay, tendencies, always. Tendencies. What you're doing is, you always see in the coach's box, coach's booth up top, all them dudes, and they all sitting there. One got the headset on, the rest of them just talking to each other, and they all just looking. You're like, damn, it's a lot of dudes up there. They're checking for this. There's checking, not just somebody's calling the play, but somebody's seeing how they react, how they respond. What do they do? What coverage will they be in? Okay, so now you're sitting in these breadcrumbs, and then you're collecting data to bring it all home.
So then, with the game on the line, in one of the biggest moments, Ben Johnson calls a very similar one of those looks. He brings in Luther Burden while also having Darnell Wright attached on the left side. So it's a tackle over, which is why when they snap the ball, Darnell Wright just sprints out to the flat. Both of these receivers, Colston Loveland and DJ Moore, they sell blocks. Luther Burden kind of sells a block and then comes back for the screen. But by conditioning the Packers into thinking that they really need to guard against the screen, all 3 of these guys trigger downhill, and then all of a sudden DJ Moore, he's releasing downfield, he's wide open, bang. What a call from Ben Johnson.
Dang, you see that? Bait, straight up bait, boxing. How you gonna respond to my straight right? Oh, okay, so now I'm about to feint the straight right. This time, you think it's coming? Ha. Oh, man, I'll give you that story of when I was talking to Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd, I'm at Floyd's house, and I'm like, everybody partying and Floyd chilling. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to him. I said, hey, what happened in the Pacquiao fight to let you know he wasn't going to be a real opponent? Like, you're gonna have your way with him. Because that's Pacquiao, even though he's older, but Pacquiao. And then you realize, I got this dude. When did you realize that? And he said, first round. I do the same thing every time. I said, what's that? He said, if you ever watch my fights, I always do a straight right hand to the body right there, diaphragm. And he said, when I do it, I'm listening. I said, listening for what? He said, that sound tells me all I need to know, how long you want to fight tonight. I said, what? He said, once he hear that sound, he said he registers that, and he's like, all right, I know what it is. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? That's next level. Woo, that's next level. Okay, let's get into this conversation right here because beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you thought about that. Coach is just next level genius. That's next level. Let's get into the problems in Philadelphia once again. Okay? A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people want to know, what is Philadelphia up to? The beef really between Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, the conversation, how they all A.J. Brown kicks up a little dust, as he should. He's a 1,000-yard receiver when he rolls out of bed. No matter what quarterback he has, no matter what situation you put him in. Hey, bruh, I'm a G. I am 1,000 yards. I'm a G. Now, coach, give me the rock so I can do more than that. I am more than that. That's only 60 yards a game. Come on, man. I can do better. 50 now with the damn 17-game schedule. And instead, they're now on the same page. Only thing I got that's critical of A.J. Brown is this. You can't have them drops in the moments because all we're going to do is exaggerate it. Like, one, they're critical drops. But two, all it's going to make you say is not only is that a bad drop, but you're not even a good teammate. You do bad leadership. Oh, man, watch you over there talking. Why you always woofing and you can't do your part? And then that's when people start to say, is he worth the money? And that's going to come back to bite you. Okay? That's when it comes back to bite you. I'm critical of Nick Sirianni for letting it get this far because you know you got a star right there. Get him the rock. God, you know how hard it is to get a receiver of that caliber? When you have him, feed him. Get him fat and full. Don't starve him out. Show him love. Show him love. You know what love look like? It look like this.
The effort and the finish towards the end of your defense, obviously they could smell blood. Milt Williams doing what he does to finish it off. And speaking of blood, how's your lip and what's that like?
Well, we talked to him about being willing to spill some blood out there and that the big dogs come out in January. And I think Milt took that to heart and the way that he played the game and the way he finished the game. And he came over and, you know, got me pretty good, but
little short ones right there. Blah, blah, blah. Make sure you guys keep beating it up in the comments. Let me know what's crack-a-lagging magging. And I got to stop messing with these NFL things. Tell me if the NFL messing with me right now. I hope they not, because, you know, I get a little dangerous at times. NFL be like, you messing with us. Careful. Careful. Make sure, beat it up in the comments that y'all still rocking with me. Let me know if the stream is still going, because I know how I act. I don't mean to do it, but somebody says fair use. I'll be like, all right, it's fair. Then I use it, and it ain't fair when I use it. So just making sure we all good. Oh, yeah, they did something. It's okay. It's okay, NFL. I see y'all did something. They shut me down somewhere. It's okay. I'm not doing it for the ratings. I'm doing it for the content. I want some more ratings. All right, here we go. Let's get into this. Speak easy. What y'all talking about? We got some Jalen Hurts Philadelphia problems, don't we? Let's talk.
Jalen Hurts. I gotta be honest, man. Like, Jalen Hurts, I need you to be special. Make plays. You know, and then, like, I did a lot of digging, man. And I won't throw them under the bus here, but I know some people, right? And the problem is we can't do different exotic looks, different formations, different motions, because I'm hearing that he can't really do it. Jalen Hurts.
Just letting you know what's out there, what they saying in these streets. But they ain't just saying it, they showing it. Kind of jacked up. They saying, look, Jalen Hurts puts up Puka Nacua numbers for a month. These is his last 4 games, supposedly. 168, 1 touchdown. 110, 1 touchdown. 185, 2 touchdowns. 175, 3 touchdowns. Now he getting his touchdowns and he taking care of the ball. See, that's a weird place to be in, right? You're in a weird place when that happens. Because it's like, uh-oh, where are we? Hello? You're in a weird place when that happens. Because people are like, are you great? Are you good? You all right? Gotta be careful. Gots to be more careful. So, Jalen Hurts, duck. They are on your head right now, majorly, in the craziest way. And sometimes in the funniest way. Y'all catch this one?
Yes, this was a huge letdown. This was my Christmas present, and I got a loss.
Oh, no. You probably would have rather had Cole, huh?
Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, like, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, like, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Why do you say that?
Whenever he's an offensive coordinator, it's like he's flipping burgers. One side, he's cooking. One half, he's cooking. And the other half is completely raw. Yes.
Boy. If that ain't somebody's daddy's son, like that boy got a contractor license already. Already got a contractor's license. Like who is that old? Who is that old? Got them kind of jokes? Got that kind of talk? Nah. We know what it is. It's okay. Your daddy got you. You're ear hustling a little too much. A little too much. All right. Let's get into this topic with Stephen A. I gotta save it. We got to go around a little bit more. We're going to go a little, and then we're going to do Stephen A. This Stephen A, oh, man. Yeah, we got time. We got time today. Okay, they went there on Stephen A. Smith, and I just can't believe. Well, I can't believe it. We'll talk about it. How about this? Let's talk about this, too. Caleb Williams, 6 big-time throws in one game. Peep this, which is crazy. Caleb Williams. Now, you ain't know what's the context of this. 6 big-time throws was the third most in the playoff game since we started grading. This is Pro Football Focus. Okay? We know that 4th down conversion. That I ain't going to show because the NFL don't like that. Okay? But you know what's crazy about that play? Patrick Mahomes had 7 in 3 games. Caleb Williams had 6 in 1 game. Who is Caleb Williams to y'all? Tell you who Caleb Williams is. Someone who is insanely talented, insanely gifted, so confident in his abilities that sometimes he's not going to read the script because I know how to act. Oh, y'all want me to do what? Okay. Let me see if that fits in my genius. Sometimes that means I'm off schedule. Sometimes that means I'm off script. And sometimes that means you're going to get something you ain't never imagined. You're going to get a gift that you never even dreamt of. And that's how the game goes. So when you look at situations like Caleb Williams and you look at situations like, whew, this dude is next level. You want to know why he's next level? Because he's been blessed and he's honed in on that talent. He knows what it is and he knows how to go. Activate it. Now, I don't know why these dire conditions always makes him activate it. Like, well, you got to be behind. You got to be in trouble. Things got to go wrong. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's real. It's there. Got to be more careful. Okay, let's be more careful with this. This is interesting. Let's shift gears a little bit of basketball before we're going to talk a little WNBA. We're going to talk a little NBA. We're going to talk about what's going on. My Clippers keep winning. That's what we just keep doing. Respect. I think 10-2 in the last 12. That means the best in the NBA right now. We got a lot of ground to make up, but we're doing it. But let's just talk about the NBA as a whole. What's going on, good, bad, and ugly, especially in this development.
I think you hit it. One thing that I remember when I was younger, a lot was made about the skill development, right? The individual skill development overseas. And these European players were coming over and they're super, super skilled. You know, Dirk is a perfect example, right? A big man that could shoot wasn't really a thing here for the most part. And I think the U.S. did a good job of sort of bridging that gap and developing its players skill-wise. But at the same time, Europe does a great job of teaching basketball, the game of basketball, how you play, how you space, how you win, how you move. So I think that, you know, now I'm a little bit frustrated when I go watch younger teams play. It's 5 out. You know, you're playing zone on both ends of the floor, miss or make. And 5 out is great, but, you know, it's not NBA players. You don't have to space all the way to the three-point line. So I think it has to be both. It has to be all-encompassing. Teach everything about the game, and Europe has that right.
The one thing I want to
I think you
blah, blah, blah. Europe has that right. Okay, let me say a couple of things. High level in general. Especially when it comes to athletics. We all know that there's a curse of the gifted, right? So America's been cursed even though we've been blessed. You know, holy book. There's God, devil. Devil used to be with God. You go down there, you rule, you rock. Okay, I got the ultimate domain, but I give them choice. So you're going to have you some rain. Same thing happens in sports. When you're so gifted, right? You dance with the devil. What that means, fundamentals, I'm doing box jumps, or can I already dunk? I got on strength shoes and jump shoes, or can I already dunk? Think about all the things that you know naturally come to you. Do you put yourself through the fundamental grinder the same with those things as the things you can't do? Stop lying. We all are guilty of that to a degree, right? You get a new toy. You get a new gadget. You get the new iPhone. What's it, 18 now or whatever? You get the new iPhone. Oh! And you start playing with it. How many times do you stop and just read the instructions in the manual first? No. Forget all that. You at the Genius Bar, you rushing through it. Hurry up. Turn it on. Sync it. All right, let's go. I'm back. But it has new features. Then 6 months later, your homie come up to you. Hey, dog, did you do this and send that and reprocess it and hit me back on chat with it? What? You can do that? Yeah, just hit the alt-right button or slide up and left. Oh, okay. Over nachos, you find out 6 months later what you've been doing for 6 months. So in Europe, because of their access point, because of their talent level, think about where they're coming from. There's athletes everywhere. But socially, you don't create the same amount of athletes because of the culture. Simple as that. Why do you think there's so many athletes from the hood back in the days? Remember? It was all the hood. Now, where are the athletes? Some are in the hood, more in the burbs. These second generation. Hey. Where's Kenya Martin's son? Is he in the hood? No. He in the burbs, and now he in the NBA. Hey. Where's Gilbert Arenas' son? He in the hood? No. He in the burbs. Now he heading to the NBA. He in college right now. You get it? So things have changed. So guess what? Over there in Europe, I should just say across the water, because it's not just Europe. We always say Europe, but China got some players, Africa. Africa starts saying, we got Africa. I remember when they were having the programs. I remember talking to Kobe, who used to go to China a ton, but the other programs, they were trying to go NBA Global. Africa, Europe, China. And then all them African players, look, I'm 61% Nigerian. My wife is Nigerian and Dutch, but she's only 50%. But she's Nigerian and Dutch. I am black, and I'm more Nigerian than her. And her daddy from Nigeria. My daddy from Tyler, Texas. But my point is, social and cultural, obviously DNA, obviously we know historical, slave, etc. Trust me, we know it, where it came from, and we're a little different. But the point is, they were building it up. And because of a lack of resources that all of a sudden was supported, NBA start pouring money over there, start sending their athletes over there, tutorials, skills camps. Next thing you know, you got NBA Global. Every offseason, they out there getting paid. I just saw Kyrie Irving in China with his shoes, doing a skills camp with his dad. Last week, I saw some video. I don't know when he filmed it. Point being, now they got the social element, the cultural element, and they not skipping the steps because it's new to them. They didn't have the resources, so they just were like, let's do all the little things to build ourselves up to be like them big boys over there. And you got to remember, when you got that target on your back, people going to take micro steps to get to you. You taking big macro steps. So there's a cultural /issue here, in part because we're a little fat and full. He's right. 5 wides, / cut, DHO, / Can we get a little deeper? Right? And so we're going to suffer in part because we got that lead. And with that lead comes, you know how it is in track. Let me give you this example. We running. I got the lead. I'm doing this. I'm looking at the scoreboard or the Jumbotron. See how far I got a lead. Oh, I got a lead. Okay? Then all of a sudden you hear that crowd start going, ooh. You know in track, that means somebody running. You look up, okay, he coming. Okay, let me pick it up. Then he comes, you try to pick it up really good. Then he comes right there, shoulder to shoulder. How many times have we seen that? And then one of you break. One of you break. Either the leader who been chilling for a little bit to conserve it for the end, he breaks past you because you used all your energy to catch up, or you break him because it's hard to restart. But the point is, that's where we are with Europe. You can hear the crowds and whoa. How many of the last MVPs have been European players? Overseas players, Canadian players, etc., African players. Giannis is from Africa. Then he goes to Greece, you know? SGA, Canada. But a lot of American ball. That's it. That's all that's happening right now. And we got to adjust. But the meat of the NBA is still American talent players. But at the same time, they teaching a whole different animal over there. Plus, they also grabbing kids from junior high school. It's kids over here now I know some kids that are in the class of 2034. Number one player in the country, Derek Tarver Jr. His dad played college ball. Shout out to DT. His son is 10. He's insane. You know, homeschooled though. Thinking now he's on Bootsy. Lil Bootsy's team in Florida, something like that. One of the rappers in Florida. One of you rappers. Whatever. I know the number 6 kid in the country, Nas. He's on our team. Left Coast Legends. And he also plays in Arizona. He's on our national team. He's homeschooled. They playing basketball for real. Will they make it? We'll see. But, you know, that's the European model. Don't frown at it up here. Don't frown in America. Oh, your kid's too young to be getting homeschooled. But then you like the results when the NBA does it with those European players. All right. Do you like these results? Beat it up in the comment. Let me know what y'all thinking about the NBA. Y'all talking about Tyler, Texas. Chris Henry says, oh, Tyler, Texas in the house. Earl Campbell. Yes, my daddy always told me about that. Chris, Wiley is our resident Nigerian. Yeah? I crack up when somebody tell me they're Nigerian and all that stuff, and I'll be like, me too? And they'd be like, really? Ain't you from Compton? I was like, yep. Via Nigeria. Real spit. Hey, what's going on with the WNBA? I just met some lady who played for the Seattle Storm. I saw her at practice. She was giving buckets. 9th year in the league. Went to Duke. Boss. She's like, yeah, we need to hurry up and sign that deal. Sounds like I need to do more than that. Let's hear it.
We have to get to the point in women's basketball media where we're not just literally glazing every player. Like, we can't just sit up there and talk about basketball and say, oh, they're great, they're great, they're great. So many people have been coming on Candace Parker for her comments about Paige Becker, which again, her comments about Paige Becker's were based around basketball. She was talking about her performance on the court. We need to be able to be realistic and honest about the reporting, because you do more harm than good when you're trying to constantly spin a narrative. Oh, Unrivaled is this super successfully. It's not yet. Maybe it will get there. Maybe it won't. Maybe it is successful in a sense that they've created an off-season place for players to train, to get in shape, to be in the United States, to improve on their game. But when it comes to getting butts in seats and watching it, it's not successful compared to the WNBA. We have to get to the point.
Blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Let's keep it real. And that's why on this show, sometimes we get a little pushback. We get a little hate. Oh, well, it's a thin line between love and hate, so we can deal with it, right? But I've been saying this forever. Like, you're never going to get respect when people got to pet you on the head. When they got to say, oh, good boy, good girl. When they got to rub you. You know what I mean? Instead of just being real with you. I don't need you to rub me. I don't need you to glaze me, as she said. Keep it 1,000. Wow, that's how you get real respect. That's how you get out the small tent to the big tent. That's why I don't believe in identity politics. That's why I don't believe in black excellence. I believe in excellence. People are like, oh, you ain't proud to be black? I was like, no, I'm proud to be excellent. Of course I'm proud to be whoever I am. But that ain't all I am. People be making up these little sub-worlds so they can be great. You're the best NFL defensive end pass rusher that went to an Ivy League school that's from the hood. Hey, bro, I don't need all that. I'm good if I'm good. I'm great if I'm great. I'm not if I'm not. Like, this false support and this false confidence, all you do is delude. It's making you delusional. So Unrivaled ain't the WNBA. And guess what? The WNBA ain't even the WNBA. It's doing better than it's done since it started, but that still ain't good enough. That's why they don't have a deal done. They don't have a deal done because them owners are saying, look, y'all finally doing something again. We started something, it was going great, then it fell off for like 20-some years. Go back to 97. I remember the first year. WNBA had its highest ratings, and then the second highest ratings are right now. Everything in the middle, cratered. What happened? I tell you what happened. One, we get tired of ceremony. Everybody gonna show up for the wedding. Everybody gonna wish you well with the honeymoon. Who coming over on Wednesday in about 6 months just to kick it? You know what I mean? Go to a wedding. What happens at every single wedding? Everyone shows up. Everyone has to be on time. Don't wear white, honey. Okay, we did it. We sitting there. Nobody really wants to be all, dressed up and buttoned up, but we doing it. We respecting you, man. You my boy. You my girl. Plus, I like everybody in your groomsmen. Those are homies, etc. You're sitting there. Dun, 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 ceremony over. You're like, I hope it ain't too long. Yes, just say I do. Hurry up. Then you get past that. You go to the reception. It literally is a stopwatch. It literally is a clock. There's two types of reception. The one that is in the city that you live in. So if I'm giving advice to anybody, if you're having a wedding, do not have it in your home city. One, too many people are going to come. And two, too many people are going to leave at this moment. As soon as they walk into the reception, time, go to the bar. Reception, cracking. You spending all your money. Your wedding going to be expensive. Everybody, then everyone sits down, right? We all sitting there. You do all these little sayings and narratives and mantras, and you pass and you pour sand and all. You're doing all that, right? We eating, cut the cake. Then it's time to dance. Watch the dance floor. Immediately, you lose 20% of the room. You already fed them. You already got them drunk. Now it's time to dance. I know these songs. I play them in the car. Oh, my sitter. This is the one that has the wedding at the house. This is the WNBA. I'm going to bring it home. Next thing you know, you look at the dance floor, it's only half the people still there. You blink at the end. I've been to so many weddings about the end, and the end ain't even that long. It's like 11 o'clock. They'll go to the club at 12 o'clock, but then they can't stay at your wedding until 11 o'clock. And you spend way more money on this. I've seen it at the end of the wedding sometimes. I'm like, man, how much y'all spend for this shit? It's 7 people here, and most of them working. Versus if you have a destination wedding, I had that. You stuck. It's a party. And then the best part of a destination wedding, have it in the middle of the week. So if you're going to have people there for 7 days, about day 4, you should have the wedding. First 3 days, let everybody get to know each other. Break the ice. Next thing you know, you in the third day, you drinking shots in the pool with somebody you just met that know y'all both. You're like, oh, man, then you go to the wedding. It's a big old frat party. Then that wedding, ain't nobody leaving. People left the WNBA. And you know why they left? Because you already gave them what they saw. And they like, this it? Food, drink, cut, you do? You love them? We love you too. See you later. Then we were like, where the ballers at? Where the storylines at? Where the narratives at? We couldn't do that because that was rude. That was mean. If we can't criticize you, we can't praise you. Simple as that. And the WNBA fell for that trap where just be nice. Just be cool. Okay, we will. We ain't gonna rock with you. Right? Ain't no contrast. We like sports because there's a home team and an away team. We like sports because it's home and visitor. Go at it. We gotta have rooting interests. And they don't want to create that, so then they suffer. It's just too much pandering. Golly, just talk about it. She's sorry. She good. She's great. Candace Parker can't say Paige Beckers needs to work on defense. It's woman-on-woman crime. But see, here's the thing. They also play that same game. Hey, what they say? Ladies rule the world. Who runs the world, girls? When my daughter starts singing that stuff, I'll be like this. No lie. And I like the song too. It's a banger. But I'll be like, I say, baby, we run the world. We, men and women. Depends on what you running. Don't be going around here thinking, kids start that all the time. Girls, you can't do it, daddy, because you're not a girl. Other than childbirth, I don't know what you're talking about, baby. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys thinking. Yeah, Chris Henry says what I've always said. Lower the damn rim. I told Lisa Leslie that a decade ago, And she was reasonable about it. She didn't agree, but she also was listening and talking through it. Sometimes you bring it up and they act like you talk about their mama. I'm like, Jesus. The ball is smaller. The three-point line is closer. The damn time is shorter. You can't do nothing with this damn rim? Just, all right, keep suffering then. Keep suffering. Silly. Like, help yourself. Help yourself. Help yourself. Give me an exhibition. I guarantee you, if you hype it up enough, All-Star game, 9-foot rims. Fix the WNBA. Because what's going to happen is everybody going to be watching that damn All-Star game like, damn. My God, did Paige Beckers just windmill on somebody? And then you're going to be like, I got to see that again. So then we watch a regular WNBA game. We'd be like, boycott. No, WNBA without the 9-foot rims. Be like him. 9-foot rims. Be like them. 9-foot rims, right? And then everybody was like, ah. Instead, no. Get that little ass ball going in there like we had an amusement park. I keep it real. Look, I got more daughters than sons, so you can't call me no damn misogynist. I'd be like, you can't even spell it. How you gonna call me a misogynist? Spell it. No, there's a Y in there too. Shut your ass. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk about this, professionalism. I'm guilty of this. When your career is coming to an end, you got to learn how to land the plane. So many athletes don't know how to do this, including me. I messed up my Dallas experience. Make sure to remind me to tell you about my Dallas experience after this. Let's go, Raymond Felton. Let's go.
For these young boys that sometimes, man, they ain't going to be perfect, man. Nope. It ain't going to be perfect, but you have to stay professional. Mm-hmm. You have to understand that it's a business. Mm-hmm. This game goes the way it goes sometimes, and sometimes it don't go in your favor. Yeah. But you still have to be professional and show them that you can be an asset to a team, because that's how you get those extra years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get to play over 10 plus and 12 and 13, 14, and sometimes 18, 20. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you have to stay professional, and you can't let your ego get in the way. Yeah. You let your ego get in the way, that's where your first mistake comes in. 100%. Then all of a sudden you looking like, well, dang, man, nobody wants to sign me. Nobody wants to this. And I hate it, because you look at a guy like DeMarcus Cousins. Mm-hmm. The professionalism part. Yeah. If he would have stayed professional, did what he had to do, and I get it. You know, you all-star, you got this ego, you making $100 million. Like, I'm one of the best bigs in this league. Yeah. You right. But guess what? You did some stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, some things happened off the court, some things happened on the court that got you in this predicament of why they got this stigma on you. Yeah. So
and the biggest thing is these people, they putting so much money into it, they like, do I even want to deal with that? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. It's like, do I even want to deal with it? And at the end of the day, no, they don't.
That is such an amazing point. This is how you do an interview. Let somebody talk and then you add to it. He added an element of, dog, I'm investing in this. I hate when they be like the NFL owners are racist or collude. And I'll be like, you know how much money they spending for this? So much money that I got a lot of money. How I get a lot of money? Because he gave me some. I earned it. But when it becomes you messing with my money up here, you know how long the line is of people that want your money, Marcellus? So I'll give a damn how you act, how you feel about it. You know what to do, professionalism. I don't even care how you act, long as it's deemed professional, right? You got a Tom Brady on your team, and on the same team, you can have who's great? Willie McGinnis. You can have who? Chad Ochocinco was a Patriot. You can have who? Randy Moss. Like, everybody can be different. I'm not saying you can't be yourself. I'm saying it got to be professional. You can have who? What's my receiver name right now? Diggs. I forget his name. Nicki Minaj, man. Stephon Diggs. You can all be Patriots. I ain't tripping. Robert Kraft ain't tripping. Do you? He just had another scandal. Man, that's alleged. Ooh, allegations move. You and the nanny, man, move. Play in this game and ball. But at the same time, when you're not balling like that, it ain't worth it. That personality in front of that production, it ain't worth it. Be a professional. Keep talking.
Think about how many dudes you see out there that you know that can play in this league right now.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just because of the things that they've done, and their character has hurt them, and they want to trying to straighten up now. You know, it's kind of too late.
And you're 14 years. You can tell me if I'm wrong. When the league puts a label on you, when they put that label on you, how hard is that thing? How hard is that motherfucker to get off?
Okay, let me say, I don't want to put a label on Stephon Diggs. It's Cardi B's man, not Nicki Minaj's. I'm sorry. My rap knowledge. I'm getting old.
So, man, I had 1 year I came in out of shape. 1 year. I came in 1 year out of shape in Portland. And that was on a lockout year. Like, we didn't know when our season was going to start. We didn't know nothing. So, you know, I was just chilling. I'm at the crib, not really working out like that. They was like, we ain't close to no deal. We ain't going to do none of this. Like, we ain't close to nothing. Like, we may not even have a season this year. I'm like, dang, all right. You know, dudes was going overseas to play and making money. I think D. Will went over somewhere for like, they gave him like $500,000 to come play like 10 games, something crazy like that. He went over there just to stay in shape. Like, people just like didn't know what was going to happen. So I came into Portland. I was a little out of shape. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That stuck with me the rest of my time.
Yeah.
I would come in shape. Like, you know, obviously my body is going to change. I'm older. I'm in my 30s now. So I'm not 20 years old no more. So, you know, my body is going to change, but I'm in shape. I'm ready to go. And it was always something every year. It was always something when my agent was going to talk to teams. Well, is he in shape? And, you know, this and that. And it's like, damn, that shit happened 1 year, and it's like, I'm out of shape every year now?
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And obviously now, like me, he done let it go. Like, I got to get back. I lost 18 pounds. My surgery, I was 307. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm 289 right now, and that's still too much. I was drafted at 282. Yep, I did my combine at 272, and then pro day was 282. Drafted. Ran a 4.61 though. I was rolling. So now I got to lose a few, and I'm gonna lose them. Duh. But the point is, boy, when they start labeling you, you got a problem. So this is what happened to me in Dallas. Even though I was such a good teammate, high character guy, that's when that Columbia kicked in. Like, Marcellus is good with everybody. Teams love him. Teammates love him. He just, you know, he's not getting the same production. But he's certainly a hard worker and a positive role model in the locker room. He gonna tell the other kids work. So that's why I got my Jacksonville last 2 years. Seriously. My Cowboy year, no, it wasn't based on, oh, he's a good character guy. It was like, he's still a good player or not. And then they found out, he's still good. Against the run, I was still great against the run. I just couldn't pass rush anymore. Right? So that's what happened. But I could have stayed in Dallas. Real spit. I'll give you the real story. I went there with Leo Carson. He was my teammate in San Diego. He's a now Dallas Cowboy. I get there. Him and Parcells super close. Him and Keyshawn. Parcells and Keyshawn super close. You know Keyshawn, my boy. Grew up right around him. All that. I get there. Immediately, they're trying to figure out how good I am still. Not as good as probably I should be. Okay, I had a hip pointer in my training camp. So I wasn't even 100% in training camp, so they never saw me even at full capacity. Played through that, then I got healthy, but still 3.5 sacks, I think, that year, 3 sacks. Nothing good. They played me in a position, it was Greg Ellis and myself. This is when I started losing my professionalism. But this lets you all know how much I had because I still got 2 years in Jacksonville. I'm like, Coach, you got me playing the wrong side. I like to play on the left side. He's like, yeah, in San Diego, you played on the right side and the left side. I was like, yeah, but we're not playing the same defense. So if we're going to play this defense, I got to line up on the tight end or line up inside him. Let me go where I can do it. He's like, what? And then he listened to me for a second, and then he was like, no. He said, because Greg Ellis certainly can play that side, but he doesn't want to play this side. But you have played both sides before, so by default, you're going to play the side that Greg can't play. I was like, all right. Greg was playing better than me anyway. Greg was better than me at that time. So I was like, whatever. But then I had resentment. I had frustration, especially because I didn't have success. I said, okay, thinking I was going to have success. I didn't. Then I was like, man, I let this fool play me in a position I wasn't even good at. Man, forget this. End of the season, Leo comes up to me. Leo Carson, he said, Wiley, I know you mad. We talking all the time. He's like, I know you mad. Do not say anything. We had to play the Giants our last game. He said, after that, you know, you get that little exit interview. You get that big interview at the end. He was like, don't say nothing. You good. All right, talk to Parcells. Parcells said he's switching the defense to a 3-4, which you ran in Buffalo, which you can still do. 3-4, the DNs don't need to get the pass rush the same as they do in a 4-3. He said, he got you. Parcells didn't tell that to me directly, but I did know it was real because he told Leo, and Leo and him as boys. So I was like, but I needed my ego, my professionalism. I needed the world to know. One, Parcells, I needed to know it from you, but more importantly, I needed the world to know. So instead, he didn't say nothing to the world. I did, and got myself cut because I was a Jerry Jones acquisition. Remember that? Jerry Jones wanted me there. Parcells was like, I don't know about him, but I can make it work. He can play the run still. I'm going to switch to 3-4 and let Wiley play the run. We're going to have something. We have our linebackers blitz, have our linebackers pass rush. But my big-ass mouth really, literally, that happened. Leo said, man, damn, I told you not to say nothing. I was like, what happened? He said, Parcells and them like, then Jerry Jones and them cut me. Lack of professionalism. I literally could have shut up, been quiet, and stayed there. And probably would have did better because a 3-4, I play 3-4 today with my hip right now. Hip surgery, I could play a 3-4. Real spit. But as they say, that's how the game goes. All right, I want to get into this conversation about Stephen A. Smith and politics, and then we're out of here. A lot of people got a lot to say in the political world. Obviously, we all saw that Stephen A. Smith wanted to raise his hand and assert himself in the political scope, in the political sphere. Nothing wrong with that, right? I hope not. Now, people could say, well, his acumen is high, his acumen is low. We'll have that discussion. But I thought this was a fascinating article. Now, I want you to read this article from the perspective that is really written. They have their own political agenda. They have their own political bias and beliefs. Stephen A. Smith is either Stephen A. Smith's been everywhere, so it's tough. But we've seen him left-leaning, we've seen him right-leaning. He goes kind of like where it seems he's a populist. Like wherever it's popular, it seems like he goes there. But right now, he's more right than left. I would say that, right? Anyway, this article, for sure, they don't go both ways. They don't play offense and defense. They play left. It's okay, and this is my favorite website. This is the most frequent website I use on the awful announcing on the internet. I don't care what you do. I know how to decipher. I know how to I don't like that, but I like all of this. I don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. That's what's happening too much in this world. So my politics obviously are more right than left. I'm more conservative. I'm more like, shut up, instead of like, can you please lower your voice? You know what I mean? I'm just like that. And I didn't even think that. My grandma voted Democrat every time, but she sure was a conservative. So, mixed signals. But let's talk about these signals. Stephen A. Smith is better off talking hockey than politics. Shots taken. Shots fired already, right? The political career of Stephen A. Smith has made a lot of noise, but it doesn't seem to be about anything other than himself. What politician isn't it about themselves and their beliefs and how they want to approach things? But let's continue. The political career of Stephen A. Smith has been met with much hype. But as the great political experiment of the ESPN star moves forward, a familiar pattern is coming to light. Stephen A. Smith speaks a lot, but he says very little. They had me hooked. Not just because they're saying it about Stephen A. Smith and like, damn, why they say that, but because they actually are leading with that. So it's like not his opinions and his policies and his support of politics and his policies, but he doesn't know anything, or he knows very little, I should say. Let's quote him properly. Wow. Like we're on a path where it sounds like this is a personal shot, but let's keep going. The pomp and circumstance of Smith's political entry have been well documented. He longs for something more than the great life that he has at ESPN with his $100 million contract, First Take Kingdom, and whatever opportunity that he wants in sports. Pomp. And by building his own personal empire outside ESPN, he has fully expanded into politics. That expansion includes his podcast, cable news appearances, and Sirius XM show. For several months, it also came with a constant flirtation with the idea that Stephen A. Smith will run for president in 2028. I told you guys this. I know some people very wealthy with B's that are in Stephen A. Smith's camp to say, hey, man, give it a consideration. I also know some people that consult with Stephen A. Smith on his policies and his politics, on the things he should support, how he should support them, etc. It's all love. Mutual friends behind the scenes. He was even polled with Democrats as a potential challenger for the nomination. And while Smith has tried to downplay the talk, he has simultaneously kept the door open ajar, just enough to invite constant speculation and stay in the spotlight. Stay in the spotlight. That's kind of another one. What if he's just considering it? And as he's considering it, he's doing this. Just seeing where the wind blows, just gauging the temperature. Can't do that, I guess, because Stephen A. Smith, I told you he's more right of late, and they're obviously always left. This is an article, credible resource, credible sources. This is a legit website. Awful announcing. But now that Smith's political career is a body of work, we can gain better insight into his true purpose. So, hey, I'm not mad at them having an editorial about Stephen A. Smith. Let's go. And at the moment, it seems like the exact mirror image of his ESPN career. Stephen A. Smith is all about Stephen A. Smith, says every politician. The latest example is Smith's controversial comments about the tragic ICE shooting of Renee Good in Minneapolis. I knew there was a reason you wrote this when you wrote this. The killing of Good has sparked outrage nationally amidst a society that is more polarized than ever before. I think the reality is we're just more privy to knowing everyone's opinion than ever before. Nothing new under the sun, King Solomon. I think we've always been polarized. It's just now, I didn't know what my neighbors were thinking when I was growing up. I didn't know what my neighbors thought about me when I played for the Buffalo Bills, except when they came over to give me cookies and sign autographs for their nephews. Other than that, I didn't know that they liked Trump. I didn't know if they liked Bush. I didn't know if they, you know what I mean? So we just got more knowledge, more insight. Anyway, the second administration of Donald Trump is going scorched earth amidst that polarization, putting forth an unapologetic agenda that tests every moral, ethical, or governmental norm that exists. See, if you read fast, you will skip over some of these real nuggets that you need to hear. Like, don't you want our government to challenge the norm? If not, we don't find all that fraud. The fraud exists because it's bunkered into the norms. I don't care who finds it. I don't care where you're from. Oh, that's just the way it is. Bureaucracy. The norm. We need to challenge it. But instead of taking a stand for something or offering any kind of substance or path forward, that's cold. You really nothing? Smith is reverting to what he does on ESPN every day. He is just offering takes. For the killing of Good, Smith took the stunning both sides stance that the shooting was completely justified while also calling it totally unnecessary in the same monologue. Let that sink in for a second. They're criticizing this man for looking at it from both sides and then complaining about this world being more polarized than ever. Hey, what is his name? Chris, in the comments, remember you said critical thinking? I'm doing that right now. They're not. I gave my thoughts on this conversation, and I will again. Unfortunate loss, but I know none of this happens if she doesn't do what she did. Now, she can, her family, everyone can point at them and say they overreacted. But to overreact, first there has to be a reaction. And she didn't give the proper reaction, which is reverse a vehicle and then go forward, not even looking both ways. Could have been a kid coming out the driveway. It could have been anything. It said it was an office, an agent, ICE agent. I don't care who it is. It's a human being being contacted by a car when being told to not move and to not be in the car. Get out. All I'm saying is, I don't care how you take it. I don't care about your politics. I am not contributing to my own death, especially for no policies. I ain't losing me, the person, over no policy. Silly. So when someone says, yes, it's completely justified, the officer, by the letter of the law, is justified. You hit me with a car? You're not obeying commands, you hit me with a car? While totally unnecessary. Why is that a valid point? Because, yeah, some say you're not trained to do this, or some say you are trained to do this, but you can shoot the tires out. Or you could just let her go and see where she goes, maybe harming other pedestrians, other people. Maybe she ends up out of control and runs over somebody, kills them innocently. Maybe that would be a better resolution. Point is, the officer could have did something else. Maybe. Did he feel like he was going to die by getting hit by that car? No, I don't think so. Totally unnecessary. If that was his his wife driving, if that was his son driving, if that was someone he cared about driving, would he have done the same thing? So can't two things be true? Anyway, that's why you look at both sides. We're not playing I declare war. We're not playing war. Some people are putting their fate in grave danger because of others. I am not. When I get pulled over, call me a punk, a mark, call me every name in the book, but I'm about to comply. Oh, you don't know your rights. Yeah, I do. I bet you I live to tell you. But let's be honest. Ain't nobody trying to wake up, I'm going to shoot somebody today. But you could take them there. Oh, you could take them there because they get scared too. They're human beings too. They're trained, obviously. But you're going to make them save your life. You're going to make them diffuse the situation. Yeah, they supposed to. Yeah. And you're supposed to obey. They are supposed to do all these things, but you're not supposed to do anything. Oh, you can't make sense of this. But let's be honest about the take. Stephen A. Smith knows as much about immigration enforcement and proper public safety protocol as he does about hockey. Shots fired. They get to hide behind the print, so we don't know what they're talking about. Did he spend time examining every angle of the footage? I think we've seen enough clips, y'all. The first day we saw all the clips where we all were kind of caught like, I don't know. Did he hit her? I mean, did he get hit? Did he not? Did he step in front of the car? Did he not? We saw that. We saw it. Then we saw that point of view. People are saying it's not a body cam. It was his camera phone, but whatever. We saw it from his perspective. That doesn't happen unless something hit me. Now, he did say you effing B, which lets me know, oh, it was personal. But he also was the same officer who got drugged. But the point is, why are you in a car going back? Dog, in a car, are you doing that? Did he spend time examining every angle of the footage? Did he talk to public safety experts to figure out what went wrong so quickly? Did he preach for patience and the proper administration of justice with a full investigation regardless of political agendas? Did you? No, he did what he was born to do. He gave a take, and you are too. And I'm reading your take. But in offering that take, it led to what Smith seems to truly desire, a chance to make it about himself. Okay, so far, I hear you. Stephen A. Smith dedicated a lengthy follow-up video to call out his critics, focusing on former SportsCenter anchor and liberal political commentator Keith Olbermann in the New York Post. The Post pulled out Smith's completely justified comment for a headline. For that, he slammed the paper, calling the story incomplete and painted an inaccurate picture of his full comments, even though they quoted him directly. Yeah, but you just told me that he said both sides. He said completely unjustified, and what else did he say? You just wrote it. Totally unnecessary. So So now he's wrong for saying y'all didn't put the totally unnecessary part. But then they're not wrong for putting one part. And he's wrong for saying, hey, you didn't balance out what I said. You can't make this up, y'all. For that, he slammed the paper, calling the story incomplete and painted an inaccurate picture of his full comments, which is true, even though they quoted him directly. Olbermann called for Smith to be fired on social media over the remarks saying he was damaging ESPN's brand. And that was crazy. Keith Olbermann is off his rocker. We all know it. He's come at me. He's come at everyone. He's just on one. To him, to each his own, but he ain't it. Stephen A. Smith didn't have to respond to Keith Olbermann or the New York Post. You didn't have to respond to Stephen A. Smith. But that's how he is wired. That's how you're wired. Remember I told you how people always try to say you live far away? No, you live far away. I'm in Beverly Hills. That ain't far. Yes, it is. From Inland Empire, it is. From the OC, it is. Oh, that's far. Why you act like where you are is where it's at? But that's how he's wired. It doesn't matter if it's Olbermann, Jason Whitlock, LeBron James, Drake May, or Garrett Wilson. Stephen A. Smith is always ready for verbal combat. He's always ready to be the main character. That's what made him a star in the first place. Look, I love this site, and I use it daily, but I tell you, and I told Jason Whitlock this, because people always ask me, why you don't criticize Whitlock? Why you don't go at Whitlock more? And I said, one, because they don't write about Whitlock. My number one source for information on the internet and in sports media is Awful Announcing. They never talk about Whitlock. You know why? Because Whitlock is conservative, Christian, and ain't playing that game. So they only go at Stephen A. Smith But they won't even bring, how many articles they've done on, someone look this up. How many articles has Awful Announcing done on Jason Whitlock in the last year, 2025? I would guess the over-under is 5. How many on Stephen A. Smith? I would guess the over-under is 500. Stephen A. Smith is always ready for the combat, okay? He's always ready to be the main character. That's what made him a star in the first place. And regardless of whether it's sports or politics, that is what he brings to the table. Smith has been seen the political world emulate the sports world and it's embraced debate mantra for years, and now he wants a piece of the action himself. Because who better to engage in political theater than the man who perfected it on the sports side? How much more of this? I can't keep going. Man, this might be a part 2. Yeah, we're going to have to part 2 this one. I got to give y'all my, whew. I just want to point out how people, when they point, what they say, 3 pointing back at you. This ain't about me loving Stephen A. Smith or not loving Stephen A. Smith. This is not about me loving Awful Announcing, not loving Awful Announcing. It's just, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And what's sad is credible sources, like Pat McAfee was saying, they ain't doing this for the love. They're not. Even the Awful Announcing, which I will watch and continue to read every single time, every single day. They're not doing it for the love. They ain't doing it from a pure perspective. They slanted as hell. I read all these articles. I'll be like, where the Jason Whitlock articles? So I can be honest about Jason Whitlock. I don't have time to watch all these shows. I don't even watch Stephen A. Smith's show. I don't watch Ryan Clark's show. But I know they are right about Ryan Clark. I know they are right about Stephen A. Smith. Get some Whitlocks in there. I wonder why. So beat it up in the comments, y'all. Let's keep talking that talk. Brand new. Man, you be on it. Pure evidence and facts. Let's look at it this way. What if it wasn't an ICE agent? Then what? Would it be this much outrage? Nope. Doubt it. You know it wouldn't be. What if that was a teenager? You know how them teenagers be activists. And he's just filming and the ladies like, hey, big boy and all that stuff. And then, right, and you would have bumped him. Oh, my God. What if it was an old lady? Oh, my God. But it's an ICE agent. All of a sudden, they're not humans anymore, even though that's a human underneath that uniform. Beat up in the comments. Last topic. What shoe? Pick a shoe. You want to wear, what's the best shoe? Shaq's, Magic's, LJ. So far, we have 0. I had a pair of these, though, the Magics. Nope. Pennies, winner so far. Iverson's close, but I take the pennies. Barkley's, number one. Grant Hills, those were kind of cool, but no. Pippen's sick. Barkley's and Pippen's right now. Sean Kitt, look like you going skiing. Rodman, KJ, Kevin Johnson's, damn. J Kids, all right. It's out of the Barkley's and the Pippens. Barkley's, simple as that. It can't, stop playing, y'all. It's the Barkley's, stop playing. Beat up in the comments which ones you guys like. What's your favorite shoe? Love for you guys, man. Have an amazing day. Share this, like it, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and make sure, no matter where you are, tell somebody, oh, you live far, so do I. Peace. It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not a